If you want to get into longboard dancing, you probably need a dedicated board for that. So for example, here the loaded Tarab 2, which is currently the king of dancers, you can see this is a huge board. It's 47-inch long by 9.5 wide, and it's got a long wheelbase. Some dancing longboards are actually smaller than this. It's definitely going to be above 40 inch long. You can see the shape here, big double kicks, but these are slightly tapered, not big wheel cutouts like you'll find on commuters or freeride boards. And the reason is you want as much stepping room, as much foot space as possible for board walking, cross stepping, doing those spins. You need a lot of space. You need to be able to easily step on the kicks as well. Now this board has relatively flat kicks. You can see they're almost flat. Whereas if you look at the Matahari in contrast, notice how aggressive the kicks are. They're much more angled. And the reason is this board has a stronger focus on freestyling. Another important factor when choosing a dancing longboard besides deck size and deck shape is the flex. And it depends on the kind of riding that you do and your own preferences. So some people will do essentially dancing style moves which involve, walking around the board but also carving the board all the time. So if you're going to do a lot of carving, a little bit of flex can help you because it gives you additional feedback and it gives you some energy in your carve. So when you shift your body, you'll get a little bit more feedback from the board. So flex is a good thing, but not too much flex. On the other hand, those who do a lot of hardcore freestyle tricks will want a stiffer board. So for example, the loaded Tarab here, loaded offers two flex options. This one here is flex 2, which is the softer flex. But if you're a heavier rider or you're more of a hardcore freestyler, then you might want the flex 1, which is stiffer and gives you a more direct response for kick tricks and jumps and so on. Mount style. So most dancing longboards nowadays are top mount. When you're dancing, you want to keep your board carving all the time, but by shifting your weight from one rail to the other. And a top mount setup will be a lot more responsive than a drop through, for example. Also, on a drop through, the mount holes here add a little bit of structural weakness. So if you do a lot of hardcore jumps and tricks, a drop through board might be a little less strong than a top mount. Wheel clearance. Again, dancing involves a lot of carving, including hard carving. So here, most dancing longboards have really deep wheel wells. You can see here on the Matahari, and it also has a slight wheel flare here on the contour. This allows for running, even bigger wheels than these and doing some hard carving. Concave. Concave is the width-wide curvature of the board. You can see here it's got slightly uplifted rails, and this is to provide better footholds so that your feet are better locked in while you do tricks on this board. However, most dancing longboards like the Tarab 2 are relatively flat. You can see here it has a subtle kind of concave. It doesn't have much, a lot of curvature, so that your feet remain free to move without hindrance when you walk around the board, and when you cross step, you don't want foot pockets to get in the way of your walking. Now, some more freestyle focused boards have a little bit more concave in order to provide better foot locking for more technical stuff. For example, when you do technical slides. Most dancing longboards also have a special grip tape kind of pattern. You can see here on the Matahari, the grip tape concentrates around these areas of the rails and on the kicks. But here in the middle section, there's no grip here. This is again to give you all the freedom of movement you need, so the grip, your feet don't get stuck, don't get gripped when you move around this board, when you do spins and these kinds of tricks, dancing tricks. Obviously, you need good grip here on the kicks so that you can pop the board and you can do those manuals in a more secure manner. Most dancing longboards will come with reverse kingpin trucks, which give you the most carvy and flowy kind of feel. The width of the truck has to match the width of the deck. In this case, it's a 9.5-inch deck. These are Paris 180mm trucks. If you're going to do a lot of carving mostly, then you want softer bushings On the other hand, if you're going to do a lot of tricks and jumps and hard landings, you'll want harder bushings. If you're a heavier rider, you'll also want harder bushings. And lastly, the wheels. If you do a primarily carvy and dancey kind of style, then you may want big wheels. So for example, 70 to 74 millimeter wheels that are square-lipped so that you get maximum grip in your carves. On the other hand, if you do a lot of tricks, you do some tech slides, you do jumps and so on, you want smaller wheels, for example, 60 to 63 millimeter wheels, and you want them to be harder, for example, 86 A Duro as opposed to, say, 78 A Duro for mostly carving. Now let's take a close-up look at three of the best dancing longboards out there: the loaded Matahari, the loaded Tarab 2, and the Longboard Stratus. The Matahari is Loaded's latest dancer evolution. It's significantly more compact and lightweight than the Bangra and the Tarab, at 44.5 long by 9.25 inch wide, and a wheelbase between 27.25 and 29.25. It's got actually 3 wheelbase settings. The Matahari has aggressive kicks and a very poppy flex. It's a very good dancing and freestyle longboard. It's got a flexi construction and mild concave for easy carving. Compared to classic dancer boards, it's a lot easier for freestyle tricks like kick flips or no-comply 360 flips, thanks to a narrower and shorter shape, a lighter weight, and steeper kicks. The Matahari is priced at $339 for the complete, which is a very reasonable price for a dancer board from Loaded. The Loaded Tarab 2 is Loaded's next generation evolution of the Tarab 1 and the Bangra. It's a gorgeous, pure dancing board. Although it's quite pricey at $440 for the complete, the Tarab is really considered the Rolls Royce of dancing longboards. It's built using leading-edge technology with a bamboo core that's sandwiched between 2 layers of basalt, which is lava material. It makes it much lighter than the Bangra. As I mentioned before, the deck is 47 inch long by 9.5 wide, and the wheelbase is adjustable from 31.25 to 32.25. The shorter wheelbase is good for tricks, while the longer wheelbase is best suited for board walking. The Tarab is more of a pure dancer than the Bangra. It's got milder concave and rocker and flatter tricks for more freedom when stepping around. It has a fully symmetrical shape that works great for flips and shove-its. The nose, tail, and rails are also reinforced with an extra layer of urethane. It makes the board incredibly resistant to impact and abrasion. The Tarab 2 has a cork layer on the bottom, which not only makes it stunning looking, but also helps dampen the vibration from the ground. The board comes in 2 flex options: Flex 1, which is stiffer and best suited for freestyle, and Flex 2, which is a bit softer and great for dancing and carving. Overall, the Loaded Tarab is an advanced, technical, and highly specialized deck for advanced longboard dancers. The Longboard Stratus is a flatland freestyle dancer designed to be light and agile. At 45.5 inch long by 9.25 inch wide, with an adjustable wheelbase of 27.5 to 28.5, it's only slightly bigger than the Loaded Matahari. The Stratus offers a nice and large effective foot platform for board walking and cross-stepping. It's fully symmetrical, 4-inch double kicks for doing manuals, shove-its, and pivots. It's quite flat in the middle with very little concave for free dancing moves. It has very slight wheel flares, and it's slightly scooped down at the base of the kicks, which provides tiny foot pockets for a bit of lock-in when carving or riding fast. The center of the deck is completely ungripped to provide a smooth surface to move on, so you won't feel your feet stick getting in the way of cross-stepping and pirouette tricks. The Stratus comes in 2 versions, a maple version and a hollow tech version. The hollow tech has a hollow core, which makes it not only extremely lightweight, but also super flexy. Weighs only 3.8 pounds, which is a lot lighter than most dancer boards out there. The maple version of the Stratus is not as lightweight as the Holotech version. It has a more subtle kind of flex. It's more durable than the Holotech, and it's also more affordable at around $200 versus over $300 for the Holotech.